Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that is dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Well, by the time you guys see this video and it's uploaded, it should officially be St. Patrick's Day here in the States. So I want to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. And so I thought I could quickly upload and shoot a video today about navigating the holidays because I think it's a very important topic. And I want you to know that this video isn't just specific to St. Patrick's Day, but that these tips and tricks can be applied to any holiday that you choose to celebrate during the year. St. Patrick's Day is kind of a wild one here in Holyoke. It's a very Irish town, and they pretty much shut down most of it for the whole weekend. There's a big road race. It's a 10K that goes through the town on Saturday, and then everybody meets up downtown, and there's a huge amount of just partying and drinking. Some eat a lot of eating, hundreds of arrests. It ends up looking like the movie set of The Purge at some point. And then on Sunday, they have the big St. Patrick's Day parade, and it kind of just goes right by my house. And you get just a ton of people that come out and celebrate. And I think it's the perfect holiday to bring up this topic regarding OMAD, probably because I noticed that around here, especially in the States, when it comes to a holiday like St. Patrick's Day, it's almost like open season or an excuse for people to go kind of nuts and crazy. My wife's uncle is a lieutenant on the police department in town, and he just tells me about the amount of drunkenness and arrests, hundreds of arrests that they make. They pretty much work nonstop, everybody that they can, and as much overtime as they can for the entire weekend. It's tied up with little childish stuff like this, and not that it isn't worth celebrating for. But again, we tend to overdo things in this country, and then we lose the original meaning of stuff. You know, like St. Patrick's Day was traditionally a day honoring the patron saint Patrick of Ireland. It's something that was observed by the Catholic Church, and it was a day that in the middle of the Lenten service, or the Lenten observance from the Catholic Church, that they would give everybody a pass on certain foods and the alcohol that had been banned during those 40 days of Lenten. And so that's where a lot of people would have beer or whiskey or whatever like that, and then you go from that one day where you have this period of Lenten, and I'm not religious, I'm not trying to convert anybody here, but they have this like 40-day period of like a lot of fasting, or what I would probably call spring cleaning, you know, cleaning your inside, cleaning out your psyche, your mind, getting ready for the blossoming new seasons. And you would take a day and just kind of drink and be merry and celebrate. And then you come to a modern day today where it's people drinking nonstop for an entire weekend and being drunk and getting arrested and eating until they're just about to explode. And those of us who are on OMAD are probably thinking, okay, well, here's a holiday. I'm used to celebrating it, especially if you're new to this lifestyle. What can I do to survive these holidays? And my best advice would be is to just keep going and stick with your plan. You know ahead of time, but be flexible. You know ahead of time that a certain holiday is coming, and you know that means that, okay, on Thanksgiving, it's always turkey and this and that, and, my aunt makes the pumpkin pie that I love, or whatever else, or on Christmas, it's blank, or on Hanukkah, it's this, or on 4th of July, we do this. So it's really not a big surprise. But for what I find is that I kind of pick and choose my battles. I know that there are certain things that I want to kind of check off my bucket list for the day to have and to eat. So I'll have that. I'll have a nice OMAD for that day, maybe stretch out my eating window slightly longer, and then I'll be done. In other words, I make up a plan ahead of time. I kind of know what to expect because these holidays aren't sprung on you. And I go in there with a plan and I stick to my plan. For St. Patrick's Day this year, I always make the big corned beef dinner with the cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. And we've got a couple different desserts going because we have some people coming over that have some food sensitivities and allergies. So I always have to have a couple options. But I have a certain amount. I know that I'm going to have some wine. I've already got that planned out. I know what my meal is. I know that I'm going to have a few snacks because I'm going to have some snacks. We have a lot of people coming over the house. And that's that. And I'm going to stick to my plan, and that's just how it is. I've got it all planned out. Planning is key. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But having said that, you do need to have a little bit of flexibility in your life to enjoy things in special occasions. And it's okay if you go a little bit overboard today. If I have a slightly larger meal today because it's a holiday, or because it's my birthday, or because it's my wife's birthday, or something of that nature, or an anniversary, whatever, I know that tomorrow is another day, and I can get right back on track with my plan, and I can have my one meal. Maybe it'll even be a slightly smaller meal than the day before, and everything will work itself out. Time will be good to us, and it worked out. And you'll find that if you have a rather large meal today and you've been on OMAD for any length of time, that when it comes to the next day, you're not going to be able to eat as much. And so you have a slightly smaller meal, you're fine, and then the next day it's like you're right back into it again as if nothing happened. The problem lies where you just say it doesn't matter mentally. You say it doesn't matter and I could just have whatever I want, and then that one day turns into an absolute binge, and then it leads to another binge the next day, and next thing you know, you've already been training yourself to go back to old habits. So that's the most important thing is that you're taking with you on holidays and on special occasions the lessons that you've learned from all of that hard work during the weeks and months that you've been doing your OMAD. Yes, it's okay to let your hair down every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. But do so in a controlled manner. Say to yourself ahead of time, okay, I know that there's going to be this here. This is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to listen to my body. When I'm full, I'm done. I'm not going to force myself. I can choose when I want to open and close my eating window. I decide what my meal is for the day and stick to it and enjoy the process. And then the other issue too is that you're always going to be running into situations where it's a birthday, or like the other day at work, for example, we had multiple birthday parties at the restaurant going in, so there was a lot of extra cake, and they were trying to give it away, and our general manager came up to me and said, "Hey, you want some cake?" And my eating window was closed, and it was a hard no for me, but I took it to go. I took some of it to go, brought it home for my kids to snack on the next day. Not that I don't like cake, I just didn't want to break my fast and break my hard work for the day for something that I knew wasn't really going to be worth it. As I've said in my movie about my video on this channel about junk food, I pick and choose my junk food, and it's a special treat, and I want to make sure that it's absolutely worth it. I'll try and incorporate it into my OMAD for the day. I make sure it doesn't take up too much of my calories, too much of a percentage, but to ruin progress and hard work, or to break a fast early, or way before I've told myself I'm going to, for something that by the end I'm not even really going to be satisfied and happy with. It just isn't worth it for me. But these are the decisions that you have to make. Again, one day out of the big picture, the grand scheme of things, not going to do a lot of damage for you. It's just that if you allow yourself to turn it into a binge, and then the next day you don't get back on track, that is when you start setting yourself up for long-term failure, and you end up going back to your old patterns, which we know are self-destructive and are not working. This is why you're on this channel. So those are my tips and tricks. Plan ahead. Do stick to your plan. Be flexible enough and understand and be patient with yourself, and know that if today didn't go exactly as you planned, if today was a little bit harder because of the temptations, it's fine. Tomorrow you're going to be back in your environment. Tomorrow's another day, and when you jump right back on your plan, OMAD will be there waiting for you, and you're still going to, over the course of however long it takes, you're going to hit your goals and you're going to get your health back in order. So that's the brilliant part of OMAD. So you can navigate the holidays. You can enjoy things, and that's another great thing is that with this way of eating is that I don't have to force myself to say no in some sort of sadistic way. Go to the say, no, I'm sorry, I've cut out carbs. I can't have, mom's apple pie anymore. No, I can have that. I'm just going to work that into my meal for the day. If that's what's available and that's part of this special occasion, I'm going to celebrate it. I'll have that. I don't have to eliminate all of that in my life. It's when I gorge and binge and don't stop myself and don't exercise self-control, that's where I have the problem. And that's where all of us will have the problem. So when you want to successfully navigate the holidays, remember, take the lessons that you've learned from doing all of this hard work in your OMAD, in your eating, in all of that fasting that you've taken with you, all of the lessons that you've learned, and take that with you onto the holiday and make some wise choices. Take a minute, think things over. Decide ahead of time what your plan is and what you want to do, and stick with your plan. All right, I believe in you. I know you can do this. We are having some great success with this. I hear from so many of you every day. I really love getting your emails and your messages, so please keep them coming. But that is it for me today. I actually have to work today, and today is Saturday. So when you see this is going to be Sunday. I'm working today, and then tomorrow is the big feast for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm going to have quite a bit of people over. But that is it for me today. Have a great day. Have a very happy OMAD, and be well.